Think about this. You sit down to study, determined to finally learn that complicated subject. 10 minutes later, your mind starts wandering. You catch yourself scrolling through your phone or staring off into space as if the answer to your exam is hidden in the air. But here's the scary part. This isn't a lack of willpower. Your own brain is fighting against you. And the worst part? It's doing it on purpose. Why? Because to your brain, studying is a problem. Literally. Your brain is a survival machine designed to conserve energy. And you know what takes a lot of energy? Thinking, learning, memorizing. So whenever you open a textbook or try to focus, your brain switches to maximum resistance mode. It thinks, why waste all this energy on difficult words and useless information when we could just, not? And that's when it starts sabotaging you. The three traps your brain uses to make you give up. 1. Fake sleep. You're fully awake, but as soon as you start studying, bam, you feel exhausted. Your eyelids get heavy, your head starts to droop, and suddenly the idea of taking a nap seems incredibly tempting. But this isn't real tiredness. It's your brain coming up with an excuse to make you stop. And here's the weirdest part. If you put the book down and pick up your phone, that sleepiness disappears instantly. 2. The hunger trick you've just eaten. You're full. But 5 minutes after you start studying, your brain whispers, hey, how about a snack? It's a distraction in disguise. Your brain knows that if it can get you to the kitchen, there's a good chance you'll never come back. And worse, you eat, but when you return to studying, the hunger comes back. 3. The perfect self-deception. This is the worst one. Your brain activates a deadly thought. Now's not a good time to study. But tomorrow, tomorrow you'll be super productive. And you believe it. The problem? Tomorrow, the same thing happens. The next day too, and the next. The trick to making your brain want to study. Here's the secret. Your brain loves dopamine. The problem is that traditional studying doesn't release much dopamine. But scrolling through Instagram, that definitely does. So how can you turn studying into something your brain wants to do? Simple. You need to create small bursts of dopamine while you study. Here's how to do it. 1. The 5-minute game your brain hates starting. But once it gets going, it adapts. So instead of promising yourself to study for hours, tell yourself, I'm going to study for just 5 minutes. What happens? Your brain is fine with that because 5 minutes seems easy. But once the 5 minutes are up, you're already in the flow, and you keep going. 2. Dopamine rewards. Associate studying with something you enjoy. For example, study for 25 minutes, eat a piece of chocolate, solve 10 problems, watch a funny video. This teaches your brain that studying a reward. 3. The hardcore mode effect. If studying feels boring, turn it into an extreme challenge. Grab a timer, hit start, and try to absorb as much information as you can in 10 minutes. Your brain loves competition, and it'll release dopamine just for the challenge. The final blow to your brain. Now that you know how your brain sabotages you and how to trick it back, here comes the most important part, because there's one fatal mistake that destroys all these techniques. A mistake that 90% of people make without even realizing it. And believe me, if you do this, none of these strategies will work. And that mistake is, well, that deserves an entire video just to explain. But if you want to find out now, just apply the dopamine techniques and watch the next video. Now tell me, which of these brain traps gets you the most? Let me know in the comments.